Alright, hello everyone, we're doing this the old-fashioned way here. This game wasn't playing well with the normal capture method in OBS here, so we're doing the screen capture. Sorry about the ugly window there. Nevertheless, we're going to give this a shot here. This is Dead Sector. This is a game I've not played before. Apparently it's a survival, or a horror FPS, maybe not survival. But that's all I know about it, so we're just going to give this a shot here. I do think we're in borderless window mode, which is probably not what I want to see for an FPS, but we're going to see how this turns out anyways. So I've not seen anything past the screen. It says you've waken up on a cold metal floor in an unfamiliar room. Strange machinery around you gives off a steady hum. You should get on your feet. You have vague memories of descending into an old bunker. Though the reason for it eludes you, your only option is to try to make it outside, and perhaps you'll find answers along the way. Press F to start. Okay, my head, how did I get here? Oh my gosh, okay, so frame rate looks really low, and the mouse sensitivity is way too high for me, so we've got pause menu, it looks like we don't have a settings menu, so that's gonna be, okay, I'll try to move the mouse just a very small amount, but, yeah, it looks weird. Frame rate feels very low. I don't know, it's like 30 FPS or something. Not sure. Graphics are crunchy, that's cool. Interesting. Email current files load with email file. It's this little label, says computer at the top there. Looks like I have it's like a crosshair, but it's on the computer screen, so it's sort of like a mouse, I guess, or a little square that pops up when I'm on the face in the computer screen here. That's interesting. I'm reading this here, so as most of you are aware, the next milestone of Project Red Base is right around the corner. For this occasion, I'd like to remind everyone to be vigilant of the safety protocols implemented, as we have those for a reason. Furthermore, we be absolutely sure to minimize, if not outright avoid, any exchange with the Research Group 2 in order to prevent any cross-contamination. Can I click on this? Can I, like, spacebar is that, I'm pressing different buttons, E key, F key, oh, okay, F, oh, so F goes into the computer screen, and then I can actually type, which is interesting. It's pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Okay, we can interact with this, and that's cool. Available commands: email, vessel, help, CLS, logout. This vessel. Select storage. Okay. Do I have to type 01? Can I just type 1? Okay. 01, okay. Vessel 01. Do I like... Oh, okay. So that's doing that. F. Can I click on this? Oh, okay, so the mouse isn't there anymore. Interesting, okay, so... Oh gosh, the sensitivity is awful. It is interesting how that pops up when I'm... I'm calling it a mouse, but you know, little reticle pops up when I'm facing the screen, and only when I'm facing the screen, but like, when I actually use the computer, it's not there, so I'm like... I'm not really sure what that's for. Because it seems like it's tied to the screen. Not even to like the computer itself, but to the screen specifically, so... The only reason I can imagine you would do that is if that was to like interact with the screen somehow, but... It doesn't look like that's actually happening. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually shoot anything with this sensitivity jacked up the way it is. I guess it's the F key is to interact. I haven't been told any controls or anything. I like using the E key for that, but that's okay. Whoop. We're stuck here. Whoop. Whoop. Alright, we get some weird hitches here. Looks like it got it out of its system though. Oof. So it'd be nice if everything didn't look quite so samey. Like you might want to have a... Yeah, because all the doors look exactly the same. Except for this one, I guess. Is that a different language? Yeah, I don't know what that says. Like, is that actual writing or is that just like fake? I don't actually. It just looks a little strange. Looks like we can shift to run. We got spacebar to jump. Yeah, it can be nice to have a couple little visual differences to help with keeping track of where you are and where things are. So are these all locked? I kind of get stuck on whatever that is. It might be nice if, I mean, the mouse sensitivity is kind of affecting things, but if you can have that little reticle, it might be nice if that was just kind of always there or something. Alright, so these are going to be locked, so... Alright, so these three are open. So there's something to be said about having too many paths available. Right off the start. Well, I'm glad that some of these are locked already. Okay, so I guess there's transitions between every door here. That's interesting. It does give it sort of like a survival horror type feel, like that sort of more old school console game vibe, I guess. Whereas usually with FPS games, especially because this is a rather small area, you'd expect it to just transition seamlessly, just going through a door like that, but it does give us just sort of a different vibe. So yeah, it is a little bit annoying to just kind of point the screen at this stuff, especially because the reticle isn't there until you actually do it. Like, you have to be a little bit precise, but also you don't have any point of reference to do that with. So this F key, if I press it again, what are these numbers? I don't know what that is. Oh, be ready. He has been down here long enough. Time to set him free. Okay, and then health ampule. One thing I will note, these are very small. Is it supposed to be like a bench? These are quite small objects and they feel kind of far away to reach. You know what I mean? It feels like the collision on the character is like a little bit bigger than it needs to be. Like, I feel like I should be able to get closer to that. People aren't like big circles, they can get quite close up to things. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm thinking about an IRL situation, which this isn't, but if I walk until my legs are in contact with something, I should be able to like look straight down and just see like the edge of it. Basically, it's kind of how people work, and this is like we're not even close. I feel like you could definitely shrink the collision here. It definitely feels a lot bigger than it needs to be, and then you can get a little closer to things. It's always a little weird. Sometimes, you try different people's projects, amateur developers, and I have noticed once in a while you get like some kind of an FPS or a first-person game where something just kind of feels kind of out of reach, but you're supposed to interact with it, and it's just one of those weird things where it's like you can avoid that. It'll just make the game feel like a little more polished in a way. So what does that health ampule thing even do, though? Like, do I have an inventory? Tab? Oh, okay. Tab key. Semi-transparent liquid will heal a small amount over a period of time. Now, do I like open tab and then click on this? It looks like we have quick slots. Oh, okay. Well, used it. There we go. Okay, so I suggest having a confirmation dialog here. So like click on this and then have like use, a little thing pop up and I can click on use. And if there's other options, like if I want to throw it away or something, you can put that in the same thing. But that way, people aren't just accidentally doing stuff like what I just did. So again, I went in here, I believe. Oh, what is... Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that did jump me. What do I do, just run away? Oh, he got me again. That was kind of lame. Like I couldn't, Oh, you can't move very fast backwards. Okay, interesting. Okay, well I didn't know that. If I knew that, I would have behaved differently. That's an interesting design choice. I guess it's kind of appropriate for a horror game. Perhaps. So I have to definitely turn around if I want to move quicker. Cause yeah, I thought I was just like going through an animation of like leaving the door or something, but the guy ended up hitting me again like right at the last second there. I guess my health is indicated by this color instead of like an actual precise value. Yeah, so that guy in there, for a moment I thought he didn't have any legs, but then I was like, it turned out it was just dark colored boots. Then all of a sudden he like lunging at me, and I was like, oh, jump scare. Looks like there's an actual gun here. Can I? So one thing that bugs me, okay, in my opinion, every first-person game should have crouching. It's just one of those things where you get so used to doing it in first-person worlds, and also like if there's anything kind of lower that you want to interact with, because you know people are tall and your head is kind of up high, you know, it's like when you look down, it's like you're kind of like a little bit far away from things, so it's just always very natural to be able to crouch to look at things close to the ground, you know, in a video game. So it's just annoying when when I'm playing a first-person game and like I can't do that, because it's like, oh, it just feels right to do that, but when I can't do it, it feels very wrong. So yeah, again, I feel like you know, put some labels or something on the different doors just to kind of differentiate between them, and that just helps a little bit, because when a lot of things look samey, you know, it's easy to get things a little mixed up, and it's like you don't have a lot of information to start organizing this world in your head. So you know, just put like a little label over the top of the door even, or something, and stuff like that can help out with that. But that doesn't respond. I feel like I should be able to pick up this gun that's sitting there and is quite rendered in high detail. That's really weird. Oh! Okay, more samey doors. That one's glowing red. And yeah, they all look the same. I don't particularly care for that. This one's out, but then... Okay. As before, complications mid-procedure have been observed. While the contents of the retrieval were different again, the location was the same as before. However, unlike previously, where the objects were exclusively mineral-based in nature, an additional object of whatever that is has been retrieved. Analysis pending from biologics. The reason of the appearance of these items are currently under investigation. All right, the wording's a little off there. Interference caused by blank is likely, although correlation with increased activity of vessel 3 have also been observed. Yeah, so a little bit, tiny little language errors here. I don't know if maybe the developer isn't like, doesn't have English as their first language or something, who knows. Vessel 1 and 2 have remained dormant outside of active testing. It's not like it's obviously badly written or anything. There's not really anything wrong with the writing other than little language errors. So, personal digital assistant manual. Okay, as a general purpose portable computer designed to provide assistance with your everyday life, outfitted with cutting-edge technology, its compact size is perfect. Take with you no matter where you go. So again, we're using the wrong form of its here. Press tab to open your DT56M. On the left side, you can see all the items you are currently carrying. On the top right corner, biomonitors give you a real-time update of your current general well-being. To see an item's description, hover your mouse over it. To use an item, press the left mouse button on it on the screen. Depending on the kind of item, it'll be either consumed or equipped. Excuse me. Equipping or unequipping an item is done the same way. There are 2 equip slots you can cycle between with 1 and 2. To drop an item, simply press right mouse button on it on the screen. Alright, so again, we're describing different functions, but as before, like if I click on something and it's consumable, I'm just going to consume it, but it's not necessarily going to always be obvious if something is like a consumable or an equipable or whatever. So if I click on it and it just automatically consumes it, like it's a bit problematic if I don't have that clarity in what's going to happen when I click on something, if it just does it immediately, especially if it's consumable and it's gone now, right? So it definitely would help to have that little pop-up, confirmation, and that'll tell you what you're going to do if you proceed with clicking on that thing, right? And that'll kind of solve that problem. All right, we got another health thing, which I might need. I don't know. I assume this goes yellow and it's gonna turn orange and red or whatever, and then I die, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any sense of like how much damage I've taken, nor how much I have to gain, and I also won't really get much of an idea of how much this will give me based on that. So I don't know like if I should use this now or if I should hold on to it and use it later, and I'm going to try using it now. And then presumably, it said it's over time. Presumably, oh, okay. So this is apparently, the color change isn't gradual, it's like a quite, I don't know, a steppy sort of change, so. Okay, we got ammo. Alright, we got revolver, and this time it's nice and huge looking. So that's definitely not going to be missed, right? However, again, like, it's really weird how I just bump into that. Feels really far away. Okay, maybe a good time. Does this actually pause what's going on in front of me? It probably doesn't. So that's equipping it, and then what does this do? Does that stay in my inventory? Oh my gosh, I have to aim this without a reticle? Really? It doesn't help that the sensitivity is so jacked up. Does this go right in the center of the screen, or is there some auto-aiming or something? He's missing most of his head here. And why does the... I assume that the model is... The gun model is shifting around like that because it's adjusting to a raycast from the center of the screen. Really? How do I... Oh. Oh, we've got reloading mechanics and stuff. Okay, well it's kind of weird to find that here, but please stay right there. Do not be disturbed while I go back here and, okay, left mouse button is fire, right mouse button is aim. Oh, we can, okay, so that's a toggle. That doesn't... Okay, that affects your movement speed. Maybe it affects your... I assume it affects your accuracy or something, but like, again, it's not giving me a lot to like actually aim with. It's just like, I don't know, maybe it just is like an accuracy buff. It's not like letting me actually use the iron sights that are on the pistol, which is kind of unfortunate. I felt like I was getting more information from the gun model moving, turning and shifting around there before, but alright. Q is to open the cylinder, E is unload and R is to load. Ugh, okay. Alright, there's a little detail, but I like to use escape as like a... Okay, in this game, wait. Yeah, it looks like opening this menu doesn't pause the game, so maybe you want to leave escape as the pause. I was going to say, for most games and almost every case, I like to have escape. Like if you're in a menu of any kind, I like to have escape work as like a back button, just like a universal thing until you get back to the game, and then have it be your pause menu, you know what I mean? But in this case, it doesn't actually pause when you open this, so I wonder if... Oh, you can still like interact with this. At least it'll let you read stuff. I wonder if you want that to be the case, like if you... Seems like it might be beneficial, like you're in a sketchy situation, knowing that this doesn't seem to pause. I wonder if you'd want to like open this and then pause and then start like reading stuff you have or something. I don't know. I could see people doing that. Maybe that's just a more optimal way to approach some situations. But okay, Q is open, E is unload, R is to reload. So Q open. There's nothing in there. But like, I really want a reticle or something. And I'd like for it to be clearer what the difference is between aimed shooting and not aimed. By the way, okay, I have 5 more of these. Can I... Oh, okay, that one's spent. Right, it's not ejected. So I have to dump all of them. I can't just take out the individual one, right? Yeah. Which makes sense. I don't know if I've never used a revolver like in real life, so not sure that there's any visual indication in real life of which one is the spent round or not. I wouldn't be surprised if there was, but I don't actually know, so either way, that seems to be the way that the game is currently designed. Case is locked. We've got boxes here. Again, I can't crouch. Like if I see something like a table, I kind of want to look under it, and I can't crouch and do that. Oh gosh. So the sensitivity is really jacked up for me here. Oh, it's just some binders. I guess it's helpful to keep how many rounds you have remaining in the revolver in mind. Alright, so I've been here and here, and I need to try these 2 doors. Oh, alright. A little bit of a hitch there. I don't know if it's loading stuff or what. Very dead looking person. Random bottles. Service access. Oh, control panel. Interesting. These are so close together. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like looked at this and didn't realize there were 2 different things that you could interact with here. General operation of the magnetic chromatogram. Wait, I want to read that date. I skipped over it. Purpose is to provide with the steps required to produce an effective analysis of blank samples within acceptable variance. Using magnetic chromatogram analysis, the SLP assumes the proper calibration of all equipments and confirmation of adequate materials. Prepare the sample, set the temperature required for the sample using the key inputs, press the set button, navigate to the time setting with the up-down arrow buttons, set the required timing with the key inputs, and then press the set button. Oof, this is a lot. Wait until the device finishes preheating. Set the primary, secondary, and tertiary carrier gas flow with the right side dial so that the total flow is 451. All right. Suboptimal to... I mean, in the real world, you have to do things like this, right? You write them all down in a list, and then the person has to follow them. In a video game, it's kind of suboptimal to just write down a set of instructions because the player is not likely to like absorb that information. It's just like gonna pass right back out of their head a lot of the time, unless you're giving it to them in context where they can actually do it, and ideally step by step. That being said, I'm not expecting the game is going to do that for me, so I think I just have to deal with it. For now, oh, there's more steps? Okay, so do I actually have to do all of those things? Control plan, okay, the mouse is not doing anything anymore. What is the means of interacting with this? Okay, W is up. So A and D, and then W and S does up and down. It's like the lights in the top left are just like status lights. And then how do you... I'm wondering if you can interact with the numbers in the bottom there. I think it says something about that, but yeah, I don't know how you do those. Can I like... How do I get down there? Do I get down there? I'm trying like the number pad on my keyboard and like the number keys top. That doesn't work. Okay, then we've got... Looks like there's a key inside. Oh, so I just want to get a key out of it, I guess. Maybe I don't even have to do all this. I thought I was going to actually use this for testing samples. But it could just be a more simple sort of puzzle of some kind. All right, set the temperature, press the set button, navigate to the time setting, set the required timing. Wait until the device finishes preheating. Set the primary, secondary, and tertiary carrier gas flow with the right side dial so that the total flow is 451. Make sure that the injector open light is on. Steadily inject the sample. Sample of object light will flash. Wait until measurement is complete. Once the measurement is done, the flushing light will turn on. If the gas flow has changed, readjust and repeat measurement from the beginning. Okay. So is this service access closed? Because I kind of sense that there's like a pane of glass over that, but like I don't actually like, might not be. And then there's a key inside. Can't I just reach in and take it? Okay, so as far as I can tell, the only thing I can interact with is that flow number, and I just have these 3 knobs that'll do that, so get out of there. Alright. This says to turn the knobs to get 451. And it has other things, so I guess I'll just do that. Right. So this is... Oh, I guess this is just math. It's a math puzzle. 451. Maybe I want to start with this one. 451. That goes by 50s. This goes by 25. This goes by, what the hell? 4? 451. Maybe what, like... There we go. There was a pane of glass. And... Okay, escape key. So yeah, oh yeah, there's glass there. I can see the glass now. For some reason I couldn't see it before. It's interesting. And then, okay, you have to be quite precise in getting that. This is this charred key. Alright, yeah, so it's a little bit misleading because there's a lot, like some of these instructions kind of sounded like something I could actually like reasonably do within the game. It's a little bit misleading in that way, but figured it out. And, you know, I've seen things like that in games before where it's kind of like they give you more information than you actually need, and then you kind of, you know, figure out the bit that's actually required and that kind of thing. So that works out. But yeah, I do kind of wish some of those maybe a little bit less sounding like things I could actually do in terms of, like, you know, pressing the, this is something about like using the arrow keys to navigate or whatever. Like it wasn't like, what does it say? Up down arrow buttons. Like, you know, it kind of sounds like you're talking about stuff that could be used with, even with a keyboard maybe, and stuff like that, but it was whatever. It's not that big a deal, but it was just what immediately occurs to me. So we got a key, and now I have to, yeah, see, I'm losing track of stuff. And all the doors kind of look the same, so I think I want to go in here. See, oh, there you go. Keycard maintenance. It was bright red. I wonder if it'll take me into that door that was lit up red. Oh, it is green. Oh gosh. Okay, this is where I was before. Alright, we got another computer, whatever that thing is. We got a little radiator, some boxes. Cool assets, by the way. I like the little, the detail in the textures, even though it's like super low res, it still has this sort of, it's kind of high detail and low res at the same time, which is interesting. Yeah, little details make it feel realistic. That's quite cool. Makes it more immersive. Oh, this clock is actually functioning. Interesting. All right, Reclo Saver. Interface ready. Scanner rotation degrees. Sampler intake number. Sampler rotation degrees. Analyzer port number. Select operation mode. Save, delete, exit. What would I delete? What would I do with any of this? No data. Back. Save. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, and I'm assuming that this is like actual saving the game itself, which, oh, just straight up turned it off. CMOS battery failure. Wait a minute. All right, that's still there. I mean, it's not a battery-backed memory, I imagine. But I can just leave this running, right? Interesting. Oh, the frame rate's really chugging here. I guess I go back. I don't remember what's Oh. This was connected to there, but also I don't think I walked through this door before, did I? Should I like... I don't like aiming without a reticle. It's awkward. I can see the little gun shift and I'm like, okay, that's... You know, the gun model shifting as I move the thing over the guy. And that's kind of what I'm using to make the judgment there with the aim. I wonder if you might want to make it so that... Might want to make it so if you press the run button, it kind of kicks you out of the aiming mode, because you could end up getting like stuck in this, and it's subtle enough that someone might not realize that they're in it. Like that kind of happened to me for a moment, and I quickly realized it. But yeah, it might just be a nice little quality of life touch to make it just kick you out of this mode if you press the run key. And also, you know, if somebody's in a stressful situation, it might make things even worse. Oh, what about, looks like it would slide down. But like, you still have a nice looking gun down there. Wait, it's like, it looks different from before. Does this like ragdoll when you load the thing in or something? Oh, can't reach the ladder. Oh, that camera does follow you. Probably one of these. Keyguard maintenance, and this is something else. What am I looking at? Everything is quite dark and weird looking. I can't really tell what that is. I'm assuming it's like a dead person. It's so dark, holy cow. Metal hook, so that seems like it'd be useful for that ladder, right? Picked up that, picked up some ammo. Oh, by the way, I only have 3 shots left. Interesting how it moves the gun model out of the way. Walk up to something here. That looks like something you could interact with, but I don't know. Maybe that's all we got in here. It looks like you could almost go in there. Wonder what the jumping is for. Like, do we have any use for jumping yet? What is it? What does it mean? Oh God, what is eating me? Oh my gosh, no. Wait. No, you can't. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. If that guy walks into me and it pushes my gun so it's pointing up and to the left, does that mean I can't shoot him with the gun? Because that's what it felt like. That was both very weird and very annoying. Oh, does the saving not work? Wait. Oh, it did work. Okay, there's no label on the clicking on the slot 1 there, so I thought it was just empty. Yeah, okay, so that was annoying for a couple of reasons. For one thing, I couldn't tell what was happening. I mean, just that's the broad stroke of it. I couldn't tell what was happening quickly enough, I don't think. Like, I heard the sounds, but I couldn't really see. It was quite dark. You know, everything is like when you go into the shadows here, it like pretty much goes to straight black, and so some things are kind of hard to pick out. So I couldn't really tell like that those enemies like stood up and everything until it was quite a bit later, and then I was in quite a bad position and everything else. And yeah, so I'd like to have a little bit more situational awareness provided by, you know, some better visibility. Maybe have the one thing that's important in 3D games in general, particularly first-person games, is you usually really need the enemies to kind of make noises and stuff just when they're moving around or just kind of existing, because it provides you with important information about where they are around you spatially and stuff, because I can only see in front of me because it's a first-person game. There's like a lot of area I can't see and everything, so you get a lot of situational awareness just from being able to hear enemies when they're around you. And this is a horror game, so there's a certain element of like some niceties you're taking away from the player because you want them to be a little bit more stressed than they might be in another situation. But in order for it to not just devolve into something really frustrating where they, you're standing in a room and you get bit in the back or something and just die suddenly without realizing that something was there and stuff like that. I think that would be an important thing, because it seems like the enemies are basically silent at the moment, which in the cases I've experienced so far was kind of interesting. In that last room, it seemed like, I'm pretty sure there's more than one enemy around me, and I was like, I didn't know if there's something behind me or whatever, and I'm like, I was trying to shoot the one that I saw in front of me, but I didn't feel like I knew if I could turn around and get away or if I was going to get bit in the back and stuff like this. And this is degree of like feeling out of control in the situation, not in like a cool like horror way, but in like a, it's a game, so it still needs to function as a game does. In that, I need to be provided with what I need to be able to make reasonable decisions and to use some element of skill to be able to survive the situation without it just being up to like I don't want to say random, but uncontrollable circumstances, I suppose. And yeah, the fact that I don't know what was happening with the gun, like trying to aim the gun, but it was getting pushed up against the enemy. I was not really thrilled about what happened with that. What was the last thing I did? Did I go in? Oh, see, I don't even know. I thought I was somewhere else here. It's very easy to get mixed up. Yeah, I'm all mixed up here. Okay, maintenance keycard. Just trying to double check where I'm at with things here. Okay, so I did get the maintenance keycard, but I didn't kill that one enemy that was just hanging out in here, which he's kind of guarding the bullets, right? So hopefully it's worth. Oh yeah, I gotta try and survive the situation, so I'm gonna be able to deal with the controls here. Maintenance access is this door. Hit the hook, we're gonna get attacked by the enemies, which we're gonna know about this time, so we're gonna be a lot better equipped. So there's an enemy there. See, I guess there might be, I don't know if all of these are enemies or not. I know at least one of them was. But yeah, I'd like to be able to see things a little bit more clearly when it's literally life or death. I guess I could just run, right? Oh yeah, see, I'm colliding with this guy here. Okay, he's gonna take more than one. Bit a chunk out of me. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, no. Alright. Okay, they dive at you really fast. I don't have time to aim. And you can only take a few hits. So yeah, I don't think this is really quite balanced appropriately at the moment, because ignoring the fact that my aiming is already jacked up from the mouse sensitivity, it's already going to be hard to aim because I don't have a reticle on the screen, right? Like, I have no confidence in my aiming, so I can't just do like a twitchy sort of shot, right? On top of that, my revolver is very limited in the the bullets it's carrying. I know it's going to take a lot of extra time if I miss the shots, and then I have to reload and all this, so I can't just start blasting. So what all of these things say is that I need to be able to have time to line up a shot with confidence the way things are currently, because otherwise it's never going to go well, right? Because I don't have any reticle to aim with, etc. Everything I just said. But what's actually happening is like I walk out in front of the enemy and it like immediately lunges at me and starts eating me, and there's like another enemy to my left that's doing the same thing. And it doesn't seem like I can just like sidestep them or run around them or anything. It doesn't seem like I have either the mobility or the space to do things like that. So it doesn't seem like I have any choice other than to shoot them with a gun. So yeah, it definitely seems like at the moment everything is not quite lining up, because you have to like, even the first enemy there, I blasted him with the gun, but I didn't get a headshot, so I'm assuming they die in one hit with the headshot. I don't know if it's that, or maybe it's related to like if maybe the enemies earlier I killed because they weren't like aggroed yet. Maybe they are weaker if you surprise them or something. My guess is that it was a headshot that will take them down in one hit, and a body shot would take more than one. But again, like I can't really have enough confidence in my aiming to get a headshot like that, and so I ended up shooting him in the body. He was completely unfazed, and he still dove forward and bit me. So again, I can only take like 4 hits or something before I die. So I need to be able to prevent that from happening in order to not die here, right? So it seems like the only thing I can do is just like nail headshots, but it's like the game isn't giving me resources to be able to make that happen unless I'm like either very lucky or just like unusually good at doing something that's bizarrely difficult and like designed to not be straightforward to accomplish. I guess we just try again. I mean, it's easy to see how this would unfold successfully. I just have to nail a couple shots, but again, it's like the game isn't really designed in such a way that facilitates that. So yeah, just putting a reticle on the screen would already make a big difference. I can understand if you don't want to, but then you know, we have to take other considerations into mind if we're not going to. And I mean, even if just use the iron sights that are on the gun, you know, that would help a lot. So I'm thinking I might, like, for the sake of this, just do that so I just have all the bullets. It feels so wasteful, and it really doesn't feel good. I'm assuming I can't kill them before they jump up. That would, I don't know. I got more ammo, there's the hook, and then he's gonna like, oh gosh. Oh, they really don't hesitate, they just dive at you like right away. Yeah, and it would help also if they reacted to getting shot, because otherwise... Oof. Really? Okay. How do I... Okay. Yeah, so what I was trying to do there, to me it feels intuitive. If you put a couple bullets in the cylinder, to me it feels intuitive if you click the left mouse button that it would close the cylinder and let you start shooting. But you apparently specifically have to press the E button to close the cylinder. So that's why I didn't, because I was thinking I didn't have to, I just needed one more shot, right? I didn't have to completely fill the cylinder, so I was just gonna, okay, I put 2 bullets in, I'm just gonna shoot now. But then I'm like, I'm clicking and nothing's happening. I think it would make a lot of sense to have that. It's one thing to have some, extra complicated controls that you have to deal with for the sake of the feeling of the game and everything, but something like that is, in my opinion, a worthy change, because it's just a quality of life thing. It's not making it any less complicated. It's just a matter of like the buttons that you press. So how do you explain that better? Ultimately we're just using a different button for, we're trading one button for the other, so making it so that the left mouse button would do the function that the E key would do. So generally in game design, if you're talking about a difference that's exclusively like in the real world, like interacting with the keys or the input device, anything you can simplify in that space is like pretty much you always should, to some degree. I'm saying to some degree. You could probably dream up some extreme example, but just broadly as a rule of thumb, I guess you pretty much should always simplify those things. So you don't want to have problems in that space. So it's like, if a key is hard to reach on the keyboard, you don't really want that to be an element of your horror game, right? Usually. Or stuff like that. Horror games are a little specific in that they kind of like to do things backwards some of the time, to some degree, but in this case, what I'm trying to say is you're doing the same exact actions. It's not making it any less complex in terms of the game logic. It's just like I said, just substituting one button for another. So where am I going again? I'm supposed to go over here. I'm supposed to kill this guy, get the bullets. Okay, I guess the running lets him hear you. Wait. I really got myself mixed up. What on earth did I just do? Okay. Yeah. Ooh, that was already creepy. Seen a little ragdoll happening there. I guess we just try again, right? I think I was gonna do that. Yeah, see, even the fact that like when you finish reloading, it closes automatically, so that's like a little touch that I appreciate, and it's a nice little quality of life thing. But I think left click should do the same thing, right? Oh gosh, I can't even aim at the thing right in front of me here, and I'm trying to deal with these. Oh no 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 no! Okay, I don't know if the it seemed like I shot him even though the gun model was pointing way up to the left. So maybe you can still shoot him, but that's very... Even if it doesn't affect your aiming the way it looks like it does, it's very uncomfortable to see your gun getting pushed up like that when you're trying to shoot him. Oh, come on. Did he just... It looked like he just changed direction, and like he just suddenly shifted very quickly in one side. Did that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it sucks how the bullets don't they don't slow them down at all when you hit them. So it's like if you don't hit a headshot, it's like you get very severely punished, because my health is absolutely destroyed from that. So yeah, I definitely feel like you benefit a lot from some rebalancing here. It is interesting how the game doesn't ask you to like go into your menu to do everything. You just walk up to stuff and press F and it'll be like, yep, solve the puzzle. Oh, that's the demo. Okay, press escape to quit. So yeah, I think lots of cool stuff in there. I think the the overall mood and everything is quite good. I like the little details and like the boxes and stuff like I mentioned, but it's all very immersive, and the sort of little realism elements that are sprinkled in tastefully. And yeah, I mean the puzzle's pretty cool. I know there's like a couple things where I got kind of caught up on, but and overall I really like the way that things were handled. I think probably be helpful to do a lot of playtesting with stuff that could potentially confuse people, like even like the save system where it was like never really explicit about the fact that it was saving the game. Stuff like that, because it's like when I did it, I was like, I don't know what this is at first, then I was like, oh well, I kind of get it. It's a save. It's doing a save for the game, but my concern is like, would everybody figure that out, or would they be like, I don't know what this is? I could definitely imagine some people doing that and just being like, I have no idea what this computer is for, and just never saving the game or whatever. Or if they did and then like not like they saved the game and then they didn't realize it because they didn't know that it did that, and they're like, oh, I lost all my progress because I died, and I don't know. But anything like that, any of those puzzles where things are just a little bit uh, less than completely clear, um, I would say, do a lot of playtesting, make sure that people are actually figuring it out, not just like some people, but make sure you're not actually ending up with significant problems. I forgot that this is still okay, yeah, but make sure you're not ending up with significant problems with, you know, even 20% of your players who just are getting completely filtered by some puzzle somewhere or whatever, stuff like that. So you definitely have to be careful about things like that, because in most games, um, it's better to just be very upfront and clear about things. And if you really don't want to, for the sake of the sort of the aesthetic of it, then understandable, but you just have to be careful. So be extra careful about stuff like that, I would say. And you heard what I thought about the balance of the enemies and gunplay and stuff. So I would definitely recommend some better way of aiming. There's some. It's not awful, the idea of like not having the confidence in where you're aiming. Like there's something about that is, you could say, is kind of cool, but again, it is still a video game, so it still has to function as a game, and it can't just be, just guess or whatever. Um, so like I'm wondering, maybe just make the actual aiming mode, use the actual iron sights on the gun or something. Um, Otherwise, I'm not sure. I definitely think you should adjust the enemy behavior, but I'm not sure like how much it would take to really make it viable, or if it would be possible to really make it make sense that you don't have any reticle or anything to aim with. Like I'm not sure if that's something that you can really get away with in the end. Obviously, there's some degree, I guess you could learn, about where the center of the screen is maybe. Um, I found it quite hard, even, trying to do that, but I don't know. I'm not sure if you can get away with not having a reticle or whatever of any kind, so you might just kind of have to do that. The other thing is, so the enemy behaviors for specifics, I would say add more of a delay between like when the enemy decides to charge forward, like the way that they're doing it right now is pretty much instantly, and they move quite quickly. So you can have some kind of a little bit, just a little slight telegraph of that before they actually lunge, something like that. And little delays like that are often a really important thing in enemy design, because that gives the player just little moments they can react to things. They could like step out from a corner or something and they see the enemy is about to lunge, and then they can move back behind the corner and the enemy will miss them, and something like that can happen. Whereas if you don't have those little pauses and things, even for one thing, the players they don't have things to react to, and the other thing is that even if they know what's going to happen, they don't have the time that they can actually react and get out of the way and stuff like that. So I would add some little pauses like that, and definitely at least have the enemies react to getting shot, have them stagger, something like that, so that shooting them is not like the way it is right now. It seems like anything other than a headshot is a fail, right? Because they continue lunging forward and they hurt you, and you can only take a couple of hits before you die. So it's like anytime you get hurt, it's a big deal. So it definitely needs to be possible to avoid damage like that. And yeah, so those things, those two things, I guess, would improve, I think, the enemies as they are. I did mention about them making sound. There was a couple moments where they probably could have benefited from making a little bit more sounds, so that there was a little bit more situational awareness, like how many enemies were around you, because I definitely felt for a moment there in that last room that it was like I didn't know if there were other enemies behind me or whatever. After going through it 2 or 3 times, and it was like, I already know where they are now, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. That specifically, I just have to worry about actually shooting them. But yeah, I think if you can get that figured out, then really interesting. I feel like you had a good flow. I definitely think, I already mentioned this before, but I definitely think you could benefit from having a little bit of visual differentiation between the doors and stuff, because it's very easy to get kind of mixed up and lose track of where you are and stuff like that. And particularly, like, if somebody saves the game and then goes away and then comes back the next day, even, they're probably going to be like, oh, what is even in all of these doors? I mean, I was even doing that in this playtest. Like, I had to walk through the doors to figure out what they are. And something as simple as just putting a label over the door or something would have made a difference. And just like this is what kind of room this is, and then I could have at least associated the label with the space inside of it. But other than that, other visual differentiators can help, and little landmarks and things like that. But yeah, that's really cool. And obviously it's very early, and I'm sure at least something I mentioned is something that the developer probably already planned to do. So hopefully this was helpful in either case. And let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.